You know, when you're trying to suss out whether or not someone is a narcissist or if they're showing a pattern of narcissistic behavior, you have to look for two things. Number one, you have to look for subtleties, okay? Subtle lies or subtle ways in which they manipulate or historically change the narrative. And the second thing that you have to look for to really identify a narcissist is the history, the long-term pattern of behavior. And I tell you what, when it comes to looking for potential examples of narcissism, there are few better places to look, in my personal opinion, than the Kardashians. I came across one such example just recently when I was reading this article about the June 29th, 2023 episode of their Hulu syndicated show, The Kardashians. And this article is also why I think Kris and Kim specifically could be potentially two of the biggest female narcissists we've ever seen on social media or our TV screens. Here's why. In this episode, there are two big things that get said, okay? And I want you to keep these in mind because these are going to matter in just a minute. The first thing is, when they were talking about Kris's guilt for making them famous, Kris says this to Kim. She says, "I don't know anyone who could have handled what you... I'm so proud of you every single day for the way that you live your life," Jenner tells her daughter in an exclusive clip from the episode. "I wish that everybody knew how beautiful and delicious your heart was, and they would never say one thing about you." Let's take a look at this delicious, yummy heart of Kim's that Kris was referring to, shall we?
Call us complaining, whether you think they're the ones going to you, they're all coming to us on the side saying the opposite to us. So we're all confused and we're on a group chat that's actually labeled not Courtney. So we know and have to funnel what your friends are saying to us and have to figure out why you're such a different person and why you have this vendetta out.
I would want to be a part of that? Like,
they're your friends, the ones that you speak to on a daily basis. But you take it all out on me. And I'm trying the best that I can to reconcile and figure it out and call you all the time.
It's about you. You are a narcissist. It is all.
Ooh. Triangulating your sister's friends against her, having a group chat behind your sister's back with her best friends. Yeah, that's not a delicious heart to me, personally. But maybe I got it wrong. Maybe Kim really is that kind and that wonderful and loving and delicious.
You know what?
What?
I'm going to give you an example of what never to do to your family members.
Okay.
I called Mom. Addison was over. I was telling her a deep problem I was having. I needed someone to talk to. I needed someone to confide in. I called her. We were talking. She was like, She acted really interested in what I was saying, right? And then she's like, okay, I'll call you back because, Addison's here. I can't really talk. And I want to, be private. Understandable, respectable, right? She goes, I'll call you later. She thinks she hangs up the phone. You know what she said?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's my sister Kim. She's just blabbing. I've tried to get off the phone with her 10 million times for the last hour and she just won't shut up or get off.
Oh, what was that clip? Was that a clip of Kim trying to triangulate Courtney's son against her by talking badly about Courtney to Courtney's own son? Ooh, beautiful and delicious heart, eh? Why do those two clips matter? Because these are the subtleties that I'm talking about. Kris is staging Kim as something that she clearly is not, that she has proven on TV by herself, approved, stamped in the episode by her to not be. Kris is painting a narrative for Kim, and Kim is doing the same for Kris, of the image that they want to project, which is completely at odds with the reality of how they behave in real life, very proudly. So that's a subtle way in which a narcissist might lie, that they might manipulate the storyline to make themselves look more favorable. Now, what about that history? That long proof of behavior that I talked about? That's where this article really got interesting for me from this June 29th, 2023 episode of their show, because Kris does something really, really interesting here. She actually poses the family as victims. She says life is about hardships and how you get through them, and we know how to get through them. I think the Kardashians, we don't stoop to anyone's level. So this could be a 2-for-1, my loves. Number one, they are staging themselves as victims, but number two, they are directly flying in the face of a long pattern of behavior. Because I don't think Destiny Blue would think of the Kardashians as victims, considering that Khloe allegedly, and got sued, for stealing some of her designs. I think Marta Goldschmied, who also had designs allegedly stolen from her, would agree that they're not victims. What about Tizita Balamle? Would she think Kylie Jenner's a victim? Or any of the black women whose culture has been appropriated by them and used to profit while black women get punished for it? And what about this guy who alleges that Miss Kimberly here stole his app and now he's living out of his car? Would he think of them as victims? Or maybe the people who lost their life savings in a crypto scam that this person promoted and took part in would think that they are victims, that they have faced so many hardships. What hardships? Because for me, personally, looking on the outside, I see a bunch of inconveniences to their narcissism and fame-hungry greed. This is what I'm talking about when I say narcissists have a long history of behavior which will directly contradict the stories that they tell about themselves, the images that they paint about themselves. And in my personal opinion, as someone who has now spent half a decade helping people with narcissistic abuse and has recovered from 2 decades of my own narcissistic abuse, I see some patterns. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments and follow for more.